We've been talking about cricket. The Asian Cricket Championship just concluded yesterday with Sri Lanka beating what could have been a fantastic victory for Pakistan, but Sri Lanka coming on top absolutely surprisingly. And to talk about this and more, we've been joined by Nishad Pai Vaidya, a friend of the show. He's a sports anchor, author, commentator, and co-founder of Niche Sports. Nishad, welcome to Talk 100.3.
Thank you so much, and great to be back. I don't know what it's about, the 12th of the month, even August 12th I was on your show, and September 12th I'm back.
See, this man definitely has a memory of, 300 terabytes? Nishad, if I'm not wrong, last checked.
I don't know, it just happens naturally. But yeah, it's an opportune moment because I have come on the show and India have just announced their World Cup squad.
Oh, brilliant. So we get a chance to talk about that as well, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But we can talk about, we can either start with yesterday's game and then move to this, or you'd like to talk about the squad first. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, I think we'll start with Sri Lanka's performance. I want to know what happened between being blown away for 105 in their opening game. They then beat Bangladesh, Afghanistan, India and Pakistan twice. Where do you think the change came in the team and the mindset?
I think there is a lot of belief in the Sri Lankan team because I observed them really closely during last year's T20 World Cup when I was working on the Sharjah venue. And, you could feel that there was something brewing in that camp because they were getting close but weren't just able to cross the line. But there was some belief. And in Dasun Shanaka, you saw that there was a leader who was really calm. And remember, Sri Lanka cricket has been through some really tough times since 2015 and 16, particularly since the retirements of the three big players. And later with Malinga retiring even a couple of years ago. So I think there is a lot of belief. And even after that first defeat, with the way they turned up against Bangladesh and Dasun Shanaka just, taking the challenge to Bangladesh verbally, pulling a note out of Arjuna Ranatunga's book, I would say, and saying that Bangladesh don't have world-class bowlers apart from two. So I think it was a combination of a lot of things, but I would put it down to belief. Seeing in Sri Lankan cricket since last year.
No, that's right. I mean, the way they have turned up, Bhanuka Rajapaksa, in fact, we saw him during IPL and he delivered what could be called as those critical lower order knocks time and again for Punjab Kings 11. But this time when he came for Sri Lanka, the expectations were much more higher. And boy, oh boy, did he deliver every single time.
Oh, he did. And you've got to realize he played in different situations.
Right.
Because against Afghanistan, he came and he simply blew their bowling attack apart. And in fact, in the final, then he had to do something completely different, that is rebuild the whole inning. But what I like about Bhanuka Rajapaksa is that there are no half measures. And there is a complete, the intent is positive right from the beginning. And he backs himself. And it's taken a while for him to play for Sri Lanka because in 2010 he was a part of the under-19 squad and was rated very highly by experts, but it took him 10 years to break into international cricket. So,
wow.
In a way, it's something like what Surya Kumar Yadav is to India, is what Bhanuka Rajapaksa is to Sri Lanka.
When you look at Pakistan, Babar Azam only passed 20 just once in this competition. No doubt it was a big problem for Pakistan going forward. What do you think he needs to do? Or does he really need to do anything to kind of arrest this drop in form for the tournament before the World Cup?
I wouldn't be too worried about his form, to be honest. And going to Australia, someone like him, would love those conditions with the ball coming on the rise, and he can play very well on the rise. So I see Babar Azam actually coming back in the flow of things. It's just the scoring rate that he and Rizwan have to really contemplate and have to really think about, because that is where Pakistan have been really tied in the knots in this Asia Cup. So I'm not really worried about Babar Azam's form, and I think because he's been a good all-round player this year in Tests, ODIs as well, and it won't be long before we see him unleash that in T20s as well, at a good strike rate at that.
So where do you think Pakistan faltered in the finals? Was it Rizwan?
I think that partnership with Rizwan and Iftikhar, I think they left it a little too late, the acceleration,
Right.
because they should have really attacked a little earlier. And when Iftikhar did in fact go after Hasaranga, he got a 6 and 4, and later when he played Tikshana, I think he played out 3 dot balls.
Right.
So in a sense that those dot balls and just not picking up the asking rate, I think that really hurt Pakistan, because Rizwan and Iftikhar built that partnership. Ideally, one of them should have been at the attacking end and should have really taken it to the Sri Lankan bowlers. And everyone's pointing out those drop catches, but they happen. And unfortunately, it happened for Pakistan in the final, because otherwise, throughout the tournament, they've fielded like absolute champs, to be honest.
No, they certainly have. And overall, do you think this tournament has been a success, given its very quick move away from Sri Lanka?
It has been an enormous success, and I've been saying this for a while, that the Asia Cup can be to cricket what, say, a Euro is to football. And there is an opportunity to make it really big. And I think this could be the start of that. Keep it in the T20 format, have it at regular intervals, at a defined interval. And, this will also allow the likes of Hong Kong, the Singapores, the UAEs, Kuwaits, everyone, a shot at a higher level. So I think this was really good for the game, particularly because world cricket needed a strong Sri Lanka again, and this could be the start of that as well.
That's right. There were conversations about, going back to what used to be the good old Australasia Cup. Now that, the Asian giants are coming up and playing this regularly after a little break that was there back in the day. How good are multinational tournaments, which are not World Cups, for a spectator? From someone who's sitting and watching the game on the television, or probably going to the grounds and watching it, getting that experience.
I think they're very competitive, and it puts things in context. Because if you're going to have bilateral ODI series or bilateral T20, it doesn't entice a viewer as much as, say, a tri-series would.
Right.
Like, remember the Nidahas Trophy in 2018? We enjoyed it, didn't we? And the numerous tri-series that we saw in the early 2000s or in the 1990s, like, you don't remember the bilateral ODI series win, but you, as Indian fans, would remember Tendulkar's Desert Storm in Sharjah, or when he took on Henry Olonga, because they were tri-series wins. They remember NatWest series because it was a tri-series win.
That's right.
To create memories, I think these tournaments are extremely critical, and I think both should be more open to it. But with the ODI Super League coming into play, where you have to play those bilateral series, it'll be a bit difficult to fit a lot of those in.
Now, you mentioned about India, you mentioned about, multinational series, or rather, going away, and the fun of going away from bilateral series. There are a couple of bilateral series that are happening before the World Cup. Australia comes to India, South Africa comes to India, and the teams have been announced. How about having a look at those teams first?
Yeah, I've got the squads right in front of me. So we've got the squad for the Australia T20s and the South Africa T20s, and all in all, it looks pretty good. But the interesting thing is, Mohammad Shami is in the squad for the Australia and South Africa T20s, but he's in the standbys for the World Cup.
Okay.
And the same case with Deepak Chahar as well. Now, the good news for India is that Jasprit Bumrah is back in.
Right.
So that is huge, and so is Harshal Patel. So India will be using these series obviously to prepare for the T20 World Cup. And the standbys for India in the World Cup are Shami, Shreyas Iyer, Bishnoi is in the standbys because Ashwin makes it to the main squad, and Deepak Chahar. The main squad, if I may, is Rohit Sharma is the captain, KL is vice captain. No surprises in the batting as far as I'm concerned, because it's got Surya Kumar Yadav, Virat Kohli, Deepak Hooda. Rishabh Pant is the wicketkeeper. Dinesh Karthik has been picked. In the all-rounders, you've got Akshar Patel and Hardik. And in the spinners, you've got Ashwin and Chahal. And the 4 fast bowlers are Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Arshdeep Singh, Jasprit Bumrah and Harshal Patel. So that is the makeup of the World Cup squad. The squad for Australia and South Africa are nearly similar, but you've got someone like a Shami and a Deepak Chahar as well as a part of the mix.
Would you, when it comes to the batting lineup, we saw Kohli's 100. Would you have Kohli as the opening batsman?
Well, I think it's worth the shot, because if you are hell-bent on fitting, say, a Rishabh Pant and a Dinesh Karthik, because I think Dinesh Karthik needs to be in the side because he's someone who can get you those 40 of 20 balls and 25 of 10 balls at a rate that not many people can, and do that more consistently. He plays that high risk, high reward cricket, and he gets that high reward more often than not. So I think India need to find Dinesh Karthik into the side, but then they feel it's a toss-up between him and Pant. And if you absolutely have to play Pant, then I think Virat Kohli will have to open with Rohit, and it could be tough on KL. But if you can't drop KL and you need to play him at the top and you need Virat at number 3, then you've got to pick either of Pant and Dinesh. So there's no straightforward answer, but I think that is definitely one of the options the team management can think of, especially after his 100 and what he's done for RCB. He's got all his 100s opening the batter.
That's right. I was in fact going to come to that that one year that he actually opened for RCB, got those 500 2016 if I'm not mistaken. But doesn't it feel like
that year?
Sorry.
I'm sorry I'm stopping, but I just thought of this interesting story. Because I was a part of the Gujarat Lions and he got 2 of those 100s against us.
Right.
And so Virat scored 4 that season. The second 100 was at Bangalore. And Bangalore was a batting beauty. They go up to 135 for 1 in 15 overs. And I think 135 for 1, at max they'll get to 200. It's a good chasing ground. We'll make it. But then AB and Virat just unleash and they finish at 248 for 3.
I remember that game.
In the last, and Virat for one moment didn't look like he'll get close to 100, and he just started smashing it and got 30 in an over and he was there.
Right.
Wow.
And that was the kind of form he was in. And I remember our team manager saying that most of us have got neck injuries because all we did was just look at the ball sailing to the stand.
Yeah, Nishad, these stories are absolutely, reminiscence of what we've seen of Virat Kohli, and he delivered that in the finals. But one person that could have delivered for India and is out because of injury and probably is causing a lot of issues as far as selection is concerned now for the playing 11 is Ravindra Jadeja. How badly will he be missed? Because
absolutely.
Because we saw him. I mean, Jadeja out of the tournament, and all of a sudden there was a mess. Dinesh Karthik drop, Pant coming in. He's not on song. Deepak Hooda comes in. He's not been bowled. There was to replace one person, India had to make half a dozen changes.
Yes, and that tells you how Ravindra Jadeja has grown, particularly as a batter, over the last 2 years.
Right.
Remember in the IPL 2020, which was held in the UAE, the first one after the pandemic started. So Ravindra Jadeja actually got his first IPL century IPL half century during that tournament. So it took him 12 years to get there. And then as a batter, he's just gone up a notch. His bowling has always been consistent, which is why he was promoted to number 4 against Pakistan.
That's right.
He gave India that flexibility. So when you lose someone like him, I mean, we talk about the batting and bowling, but I will also talk about his fielding. Because you lose an absolute cheetah at points.
True.
Someone, he's an absolute panther. You can just call him anything because he's that quick. So I think that's definitely a huge loss to India. And, hopefully for Indian fans, the others pull up and, make that absence, make up for his absence actually.
Well, Nishad, it's always great to get your thoughts on everything cricket, and congratulations on all of your work as well throughout the tournament, and it's great to have you on Talk 100.3.
Thanks, guys. Have a good evening, and keep watching, keep loving the game.
Wonderful. There we go. Nishad Pai Vaidya, who was there speaking, the sports anchor, author, commentator and co-founder of